The 1860s were a turbulent time, and though plenty of paintings show the devastation of the Civil War, 1861 to 1865, it's even more visceral when captured in a photograph. Charleston was pivotal during the conflict as Union and Confederate forces struggled for power. Ultimately, Union troops blitzed the southern city, and a fire ripped through it in 1861. A pair of men are pictured amid the wreckage in this photo from the early 1860s. Another haunting photo from the Civil War. This one shows the Ponder House in Georgia's capital, not long after the Battle of Atlanta, July 22, 1864. Confederate troops had occupied the house, and it was shelled by Union forces. In this 1860 shot, you can see the facade riddled with bullet holes and entirely destroyed in one area. After the war, many veterans poured into New York City in the hope of finding work. However, a recession in 1866 meant that employment was difficult to come by. This photo from the 1860s shows a very different Wall Street to the one we're familiar with today. There are horse-pulled carts in place of tourists and taxicabs, and soaring buildings like 40 Wall Street are yet to pierce the skies. A view of Nashville in the 1860s. New York isn't the only city that's almost unrecognizable in 19th century photos. Today, Nashville is associated with winking neon lights, lively honky-tonks, and lofty skyscrapers like the Batman Building, officially the AT&T Building. However, this 1860s view from the Capitol shows low-rise homes interspersed by trees and backed by wilderness. Indigenous peoples in southeastern Alaska, from budding metropolises to the wilds of the frontier state. This image dates back to 1868 and shows a group of indigenous people sitting on Alaska's rock cod. In the background, you can make out Fort Wrangell and Wrangell Island. This area of southeast Alaska has long been inhabited by the Eyak, Haida, Tsimshian, and Tlingit tribe. Mammoth Hot Springs in Yellowstone National Park, America's city, shifted and swelled during the 19th century. But there's something remarkably comforting about Mother Nature's constancy when she's left to her own devices. This breathtaking shot from 1869 shows Yellowstone's Mammoth Hot Springs. Prior to the park's founding, their travertine terrace is not so different from today. Hayden Geological Survey at Yellowstone National Park. This photo also predates the founding of America's first national park. It captures the team from the Hayden Geological Survey of 1871 who explored and surveyed the land that would ultimately become Yellowstone. Their pack train is packed here beside Mirror Lake, a glittering natural wonder that lives up to its name. The first boat on Yellowstone Lake today. Yellowstone National Park is a recreational hotbed, with travelers coming from far and wide to hike and bike, and to boat on Yellowstone Lake. But in the park's early days, folks were only just getting used to Yellowstone's potential for adventures. The Annie, pictured here in 1871, is purportedly one of the first ever boats to be launched on Yellowstone Lake. Hey you! If you like this channel, please subscribe and comment below for upcoming topics.